Well, shooters and reloaders out there, Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone, and this is our second video on firearms trivia. So there may come a time when you run into a box of these colloidal graphite wads from IPCO or a stick of bullet lubricant like this from IPCO, and you'll wonder, what is IPCO? Because you'll do a search on the internet, you won't find anything. IPCO is, you'll find other things, but you won't find anything regarding shooting. So you'll wonder, what is this? Well, that's the trivia question for today. Well, it turns out that before the middle 1970s, IPCO was a very successful company in the shooting industry, because in those days, cast bullets and lead bullets ruled the land and ruled the landscape. But when jacketed bullets came in and auto pistols became popular, even to taking over all the police markets in the middle 1980s, the use for these lubricant products diminished to the point where the company could not exist any longer. And that's why these products belong in museums today. Well, notice the pricing there, 75 cents for a big stick of bullet lube. That's an amazing price, but not amazing for the 1960s and 70s and before that. And then those colloidal graphite sheets in those boxes for $1. That's the pricing that was popular back in the 1970s and before. So let's look at some of these products. Well, what the company IPCO was all about was providing shooters with a colloidal solution of graphite and petroleum products. Well, it turns out it's not really a true solution, because a colloid is a mixture where there's a particulate matter that is small size and is in a mix with something else, and the mix won't separate. So it's not a suspension, it is a colloid. Well, this is the graphite, and these are sticks of it used to put into sizer lubricators like the Star Machine, the Lyman, this kind of thing. And of course this can be used today in the sizer lubricators that we have. I bet Dave at Thorzak 777 knows all about IPCO because he has a Star Machine sizer lubricator. So here you see one of the sticks open up, and you'll see how similar it is to the Lyman. This is the Lyman Molly Lube. But Lyman was a big enough company it could survive where IPCO couldn't. So you see, since I always shot a lot of cast bullets, I believed in the IPCO products so much that I really stocked up on it, and so I've got a lot of this old IPCO stuff lying around. Well, the other product was these colloidal graphite wads. The instruction sheet says that these will provide protection against erosion, corrosion, and fouling. And it prevents leading, of course. And if you open one of those boxes up, you'll see 2 of these, and each one has 9 of the sheets of wax, the colloid wax and graphite. So you open one of these packs in there, and it's like opening up a spam can of old Russian ammo. You open it up, and they have these covers and little sheets with instructions and paper and all this kind of stuff, and then you got to take another piece of paper off, and then you get to the ammo inside, and what you have are these little sheets. So you have these sheets of lube, and what you do is you make a wad with these, and here's how it works. So here's how you use these colloidal sheets to make colloid graphite wads. So you take your brass like this. By the way, this is brass that has been wet tumbled, and it's about 9 months old, stored dry in a jug, and you'll see the finish still looks pretty good. You don't get tarnishing and badness if you rinse the wet tumbled brass weld to get the lemming shine off, and then you dry it thoroughly. If you do that, this finish will stay good. Not hard to do. But anyway, to use these, you take your case, and it's already been primed and sized and all that kind of thing, and the powder charge has already been put into the case. So then you take one of these wads, you place it over the top of the case, and then you press, and that cuts out a wad, you see. So we use these quite a bit, and that wad will cling to the inside of the case and the bottom of the bullet. Then you go ahead and seat the bullet right on this. Now after we get done using this and you have leftover, we usually save this and throw it into our sizer lubricator, so we didn't waste it. You see, it cuts the wad perfectly to fit in there, and because the case is tapered, as you seat the bullet on top of this wad, the wad will cling to the walls and not move, and it'll cling to the base of the bullet and not move, and it doesn't foul the powder charge. So they work well. But I use a lot of these, and here are the times when you use these wax graphite wads. But I use these wads readily whenever I saw streaks of lead near the muzzle of my handguns. And that means that the lube was running out and you need a little extra lube. And that's provided by these graphite wads. So we would put the graphite wads in, and then you wouldn't see those streaks of leading near the muzzle. Now the second reason that I always use these graphite wads was when the bullet that I was using didn't seem to have much in the way of lube grooves. So that you got a big bullet like this, 255 grain round nose flat point, you got these two teeny little grease grooves in there, and so we put that colloidal wax graphite wad on the back to give this extra lube. That's the second reason. And the third reason was that when we were doing hot loads and there was some kind of doubt in our mind that we didn't want to cause any leading and this kind of thing, any doubt at all, we'd go ahead and put those graphite wads in our loads. So shooters and reloaders out there, you have the lowdown on the IPCO company. It was located in Massachusetts and probably went out of business somewhere around the late 70s. Now it so happens that with cowboy action shooting and also with the popularity of cast bullets again, because they're just plain good and they're inexpensive, but it's too late to save the IPCO company and too late to save these colloidal graphite wads. And yes, when we use these wads we got a little more smoke, but we didn't mind that at all. So take care, and we'll see you next video. Bye for now.